Welcome back to the RoundTripper Rundown. We're sitting today with Barr with the Seattle Mariners, third baseman out of the University of Indiana. Cole, how you doing?
I'm pretty good, Chris. How about you?
You know, if I was doing any better, I might have to shoot myself. You know what I'm saying? But question, biggest transition. You go from Indiana University, where you had a stellar career, you get drafted, you go play with the Seattle Mariners. What was the biggest adjustment as a hitter, as a player?
I'd say the pitching's just a little bit different. I feel like, you get to pro ball and a lot of guys, they all throw 95. They got the vertical break going on, the kind of the rising sort of fastballs going on. I mean, you see that in college a little bit, but it's just kind of on another level. So I'd say that's probably the biggest adjustment.
What about the speed of the game? Did you find any different in the speed of the game with
For sure.
the athletes being better?
For sure. I mean, for the most part, everyone's pretty quick, like very crisp on defense, the speed of the pitching. I mean, just overall how hard guys hit balls, like the reaction at third. I mean, sometimes you're over at third, there's some big dudes up, you're kind of scared. I mean, some of them hit the ball 115 and you're like, I'm not playing in on this, sorry.
Yeah. No, he's not bunting.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, just a lot of really good athletes and very big and strong and physical guys.
Did you find leaving college where nutrition, the weight room, all of that was more or less spoon-fed to now you're out on an island and you've got to figure all these things out on your own?
Absolutely. I mean, I was pretty fortunate. I had really good people around me in college that kind of prepared me for this. So it really wasn't that difficult of a transition because I'd kind of been doing all these things for years, with it, like, the training and nutrition and those kind of things.
The fact that you didn't find yourself falling behind at all. I know a lot of guys come out of schools, everything's just done for them, so they kind of become the cattle and they're just getting herded, and then they get out on their own and they're like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
And you're in a different situation. Granted, you're not only good looking, but you're very smart. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's not a problem. Let's go all the way back. You come out of high school, you go to IU.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about how the transitions that are happening for kids that are going to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to go back to, 12U travel ball, but let's talk about, I'm leaving high school. I've had great high school career. I go into college, and then those transitions all the way to where you are now.
Well, in college, it's just your day's full. You have class from 8 to 12, and you got weights somewhere in there, and then practice every day. So, and then just being away from home for the first time, those kind of things I felt were pretty tough. But then you kind of get over that, and then you love where you're at. Like, I loved going to IU. And I went back to visit last weekend. I mean, I missed it. And, those be able to get through those kind of difficulties, just help you prepare you for later on. And, you look back on it, you're like, yeah, it was hard, but you loved every second of it.
100%. 100%. I remember I hated my freshman year until we started playing. I was like, this place isn't for me.
Yeah.
Now I'm out of the state, but I'm kind of in state, our family's from Kentucky and all, but then you start to play and then it's like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, the SEC, Big Ten, it doesn't matter. It's still a outstanding caliber of baseball. Then you get in, you transition into pro ball. What have been some of the high points, and then what are some of the low points of, hey, these are the struggles, these are the successes I had, these are the struggles that I've had, and now how do I work on the struggles and continue to have the high points be high points?
Some of the high points are you make a plan, you attack a weakness, and you get better at it, and then you go out there and you get to see some success with it. And then there's the other end of that, where you find out what you're not so good at, and you're like, all right, this is what I got to work at and get a lot better at, which is part of the reason I'm training here, because I got a lot of things to work on that we're going to hammer out. But,
we're going to fix everything.
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
That's all right. That's just part of it.
100%.
It's just a lot of up and downs. You can't get better if you don't figure out what it is you need to get better at.
You had the with Seattle, what was it that you had the best pitch recognition to swing at strikes or take balls
Yeah,
in the organization?
I don't know about that exactly, but I had really good plate discipline, so that's something that I can build off of.
I think from a hitting standpoint, if you have the ability to see the ball and you can see spin, your opportunity for success is off the charts. You continuing to work and hone the craft of hitting. You've got a chance to play in the big leagues, and it has to be exciting.
Absolutely.
You playing third base. I know you played some second, but your arm strength. What was that clicking up to?
Well, I haven't done it in a while. 2 years ago, got to 96 across the infield. Probably a little bit better now. I don't know.
I'd heard somebody was saying that you might be creeping up on 100 miles an hour.
Probably close. Probably close.
I don't think people understand how important, we take throwing or defense. We don't put enough into that on a regular basis of where we're going. I've got to work on my arm strength. You see pitchers doing plyos. What is it for infielders, outfielders? How much are you throwing? What are you doing? So kids know, hey, I got to throw every day.
I've pretty much done the same long toss program since I was in 8th grade. It's the simple J bands. Like I have the routine I do with all the J bands, and then you just long toss. I do it about every other day or so. Really, the main thing is just listen to your arm. If your arm feels good, then throw. If it doesn't, take some rest, let it build up. And how I long toss is you're kind of just stretching out all these muscles in your arm until you get to the certain point. And then when you start coming back in every 10 feet or so, you keep that same arm speed that you built up to long tossing all the way. And now you're bringing it down. And then by the time you get to 60 feet or so, it's just going just like that. And then you do that for years and years. And I did it pretty much religiously every other day. I'd start throwing a little bit in December, but then the time January 1st hit, that's when I started to do it. And just
really getting after it.
Just been doing that for years. And then I pitched as well. So I think that probably had a lot to do with it as well.
Just general arm kick.
Yeah, for sure. But always doing bands. I do a little bit of the weighted ball stuff now, but just for the shoulder and stuff. But really, I just did a lot of bands.
Your path clean.
Yeah, just did bands and long toss. And the main thing, just listen to your arm.
Well, you're going to be working here all year. We'll be working together in the mornings, but then in the evenings, you're going to be giving back to the youth of the community and working here. So I think everybody's going to be excited to, hear your insight on the game and everything. And it's always better when you bring in young, new blood, because you're a lot closer in age than I am. I'm becoming the dinosaur. But I think it's going to be really excited, man. We're really glad to have you, and we'll do this again.
Absolutely. I'm excited to be here, and we're going to get after it for sure.
All right, babe. We'll talk to you later.
Okay.